Well, this is not episode of Darkness in Dublin. This is Vampire Edition. Tonight, a Mr. Bruce Lane Court has called out to a couple individuals he met the night before um, to arrange something or maybe just have a friendly chat. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Um, Anthony, you want to describe your office or whatever that we're arriving at?
Well, office. Exactly what this is not. So uh, Bruce calls you to a place called it's just called Indulgence, with a very nice and proper sign on the front. Um, Actually quite a big place as it takes up the whole city block, and gentlemen go out quickly to greet you. Um, you see a lot of high profile individuals, people who you've seen maybe on the news at one time, or people that maybe, hey, your voice sounds familiar. And if you were to go and look on the brochure, it's not really a brochure, but if you go to look on asking what these clients were here for, um, you get vague answers saying they're here to indulge in appetites that others would find less than mainstream. Period. And you are led to a back room, and you'll see a whole bunch of individuals once you actually get into the club and fetish gear XYZ. And Bruce kind of standing outside of the door, waiting to welcome you all in, like the office proper.
David will show up. He's actually dressed like somewhat nice for this evening,
hmm
although somewhat nice for David is like I'm sure casual for like most important slash rich people. Just kind of like a black button up and like pair of slacks tucked in and everything.
He'll smile.
Michael will show up. He actually won't have his lab coat on. He'll have a tweed blazer with leather patches on the elbows. Um, he'll have his glasses on his nose and a couple of pens in his pocket. He's carrying a briefcase with him. As he turns away from where he was coming, he will actually look back and say, "No, I don't need you to go with me. Go home. Go home. Go home. I told you you can't come with me. Go home." And then he'll be greeted by the people and let in. And as he's being let in, it'll just be a random course of oh my's, oh dears, oh my's, oh dears, oh my's, until he's finally brought to Bruce.
Bruce will smile and say, "Well, I'm glad you both could make it."
He will say, "Well, it was a interesting text message. I've never been to this place before. Uh, I typically don't leave the sewers that much, so it's kind of nice to be anywhere. Um, oh, I hope I'm okay. He looks like straight up like a college professor out of the 40s.
He kind of like waves it off. You will see that there is a ghoul out that's sort of like in the back, sort of just watching. And then Bruce will sort of give him a look, and he will take his position outside the room. And he'll say, "You're safe here."
Michael will walk in, look around the room, and will look back to the other two and say, "So, this is where you own?"
Yes. Uh, Kind come here to indulge in their darker appetites. I charge them a fee.
Ah, I see. So it's a speakeasy.
speak easy with extra dashes of heroin.
Oh, okay. I've never been to one myself. It's my first time, but some of my colleagues tried to drag me out to them. I had to explain to them that I wasn't that type of person. Also because I was already dead, but you know.
I know what you mean.
Hmm.
Senator Kelly, but not close senator to Dignitary Kelly seems to like being spanked on the bottom. He's done a lot of naughty things. He just chuckles at that. And but we're not here to talk and spy on the upper class. I am a very, how should I say? I have lots of ideas for the city, and lots of ways we can um better serve the tower. And I'd like to hear essentially what you gentlemen's thoughts were. If we are like minds, I believe we can do business together on a more personal level.
Ross will actually take out a notepad from his briefcase and a pen, and he will start leafing through things. Well, I haven't had too much of an opportunity to get to know the up of the city. I've been working primarily on the down of the city, so most important thing to me so far is the maintaining of the sanctity of the sewers.
See, are you and Master Demetrius? Are you the only two of your kind?
Oh no, the Seneschal is also a member of our kind, as well as a few others in the city.
I see.
But Demetrian tends to follow me everywhere because he doesn't think I can protect myself.
Quirks an eyebrow.
He's youngish, I suppose. I mean, but he is a stick. He is a stick for beating, and I am, well, I'm me. So he thinks that I can't fight. And truth is, I prefer not to. I'm really kind of pacifist. Mostly because I feel like to fight is not something I'm supposed to do anymore. Does that make sense?
To each his own, but I get where you're coming from.
It's like I've been taken out of the equation, I guess would be the better way to say it.
Eyes over at Tiger's character. And you, sir?
I don't know. There seems to be quite a bit that could use some fixing around this place. I heard that there's still some Sabat running around. It's actually, I got tasked with the prince to go wipe a camp of theirs up in the mountains somewhere. So that'll be a fun time. Provision Council could use a bit of filling. I don't think there's anybody on it right now.
I also have a task to become Primogen as well. Something that is uniquely something Nosferatu do. So
So I assume each of us has a desire to be part of the Parmesan Council. Am I correct in saying so?
Seems to be the case. I certainly threw my hat in for the gangrel seat.
as did I for the Nosferatu. So
I see. As far as extra responsibilities, I know that Tag, what's your character's name? It keeps slipping my
David,
brain. David. Okay.
I'll put in the side chat for you.
Thank you. Uh, David, I know that you took up some extra responsibilities with fledgling.
It was more the prince found out she was Clan Gangrel and didn't know what the fuck she was doing. So
Oh,
also Clan Gangrel, he just kind of wasted me. But yeah, it is what it is.
Well, here's hoping she doesn't do anything stupid. Again,
Yeah.
I should say.
so she's under the accounting?
Correct.
Damn. Did she just have a slip of the tongue, or does she like legitly not know anything?
I mean, she knows a little bit. She knows, vampires and kindred and whatnot, but as far as our rules go, for the most part, she seems a little not all there.
Oh,
I would hope she understands the really big one, because otherwise she wouldn't be standing here right now.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, she seems really nervous, so hopefully she'll get over that.
Well, I was nervous first time I was introduced to court too. Of course, I'd had 2 years of training by my sire beforehand, so went a little bit better.
2 years, lucky bastard. 20 years before I even saw a court. Like,
Really? Were you
really?
ghoul before?
Yes, 7 years.
See, I wasn't a ghoul. I was just done. But it was 2 years of constant rigorous study, so it wasn't like I was, going out and doing anything interesting. I was basically sat in front of books all day while my sire rattled off repeated things like my lineage, the traditions, the rules, what the positions mean, what it means to be a Camarilla, what it means to be a Nos, etc., etc., etc. I actually still have notes of that somewhere in my
I see.
well, it's important to keep notes.
So how long did it take you, David?
My sire didn't really teach me much. She just kind of knocked me over the head, drained me, embraced me, and then left me in the forest with a note that said, "Dawn's coming in a couple hours. You better find shelter."
That's rude.
That's rude.
Obviously, you learned enough to survive. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I mean, stumbled into court a few weeks later, very confused, pretty fucking hungry. Not gonna lie. Kindly, sheriff there, who was Gangrel, took me in and kind of just taught me the ropes. So. Could have ended much worse than it did.
Indeed, indeed. Do any of you in particular, you don't have to answer this question, but uh, are you dealing in influence of any kind?
Oh, I do. Comes in handy in my line of work.
By all means, you don't have to. If you feel comfortable divulging.
Well, let's just say I know my way around red tape. I have some things I can do at universities, and, well, being practiced in medicine does help in certain situations as well.
I see. Myself, I know my way around. Well, I should say that a few of my clients have a proclivity for the spotlight. Um, Also a passing interest in what happens on the telly. God, I love the telly. Such a brand new invention.
I know.
But
It's so fascinating,
oh,
too.
cool. He just laughs like I'm just used to the way things used to be. We had to find other things to entertain ourselves. But golly,
I regret I never had a chance to work with Dr. Irwin.
and what else? And some big businesses. But it is definitely a new adventure for me. I will say. Um, and you, David, are you playing that game or no?
I'm not much good at that game, to be honest. I'm a,
Huh?
I'm a bit more subtle than that.
Gotcha. So, as far as the short term goal of like making it on the council, um, long term goals.
Couple of experiments I'm working on. I would eventually like to have animal ghouls be allowed into both Elysiums and Gatherings. I still don't understand why they don't allow it.
Uh, to me, it seems like the keeper is he's a bit squeamish, but
Oh, it's not just our keeper, it's every keeper I've ever met. No, you can't bring that here. No, it's going to attract slime everywhere. I don't know how you got that thing out of the sewers, but you need to put it back, that sort of thing.
What
well,
is the animal pool in question?
What'd you say, Tiger? I missed that.
Oh, sorry. What exactly is your goal in question?
Oh, that was King Shiny.
Is this the one that you're trying to like breed with an alligator or a crocodile or something?
Yeah, King Shiny's the crocodile, Queenie's the alligator.
Hmm. Yeah, that might be why most people get a little nervous around. I'm assuming it's a pretty big guy, right? Pretty huge.
Relatively.
Like, could it? David kind of stands up. He's got huge size, so he's a pretty big motherfucker. Could it in about 2 or 3 bites?
One.
that's
All right, that's
not no way. That yeah. Um, I don't know how we would be even able to begin to explain any of that.
Well, there's always Serpentis. I still have to come up with a better name for him. This Setites get really pissed off when I name that snake Serpentis. Oh, Serpentor. That could be a good one. Then there's Moskowitz. Oh, there's Houndy. Houndy would be fun. Houndy's not that big, though. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I want to prove that there's more versatility in animals than there are in humans.
How so?
Well, for example, there are things that certain animals can do that humans can't, like gather information unnoticed, or fight with razor sharp fangs and wicked claws, and plus they also cuddle. I had to wean King Shiny off of cuddling. That was getting too painful.
Uh, are you sensitive about rebuttals or
No,
counter arguments?
counter arguments are always welcome. I am a scientist after all.
Uh, certain individuals feel ways about their ideas being challenged, and I didn't want to go out of my way to offend.
No offense. Go ahead.
Well, sometimes humans, I would argue, have an easier time forming community, where they are simply able to adapt a bit better language, usually.
I'm certainly not devaluing the worth of human ghouls.
Uh-huh.
I'm simply saying that I can hide animal ghouls more easily, especially when they're the size of Moskowitz.
I think that depends on the animal goal in question. Like, barring teaching it off, it's a little hard to hide a fucking 15-foot alligator just walking around downtown Dublin or whatever.
I am working on that, but that's a clan secret. I can't tell any more about that.
But I also feel as if I'm not saying that animals don't have their use, but being that animals and creatures are becoming less of the norm and more a exception. It's becoming less and less frequent that you'll see people with animals, and more or less they seem to be, akin to individuals that have eccentric tastes.
Yes, I suppose you're right about that. It's quite a pity, though.
So, what would stop, say, a more fastidious, say, I hate to use the term high clan, but snob. Let's use the word snob. Um, so a snob would be able to say that you were actually endangering the kind, and such creatures like that are better off in the sewer. What would you say in response?
I would simply say that once they learn how to sneak around, that's not your biggest problem anymore.
So you resort to intimidation?
Oh, no. No. I would say that if something got big enough and intelligent enough to sneak around, there's a much bigger problem on your hands than simply it existing. More or less. What's what I'm looking for? I'm always bad at explaining myself. Right.
It's
Animals
not okay.
learn. Sorry. Animals learn in one of two ways. They learn by nurture and they learn by nature.
Mhm.
Meaning that certain animals are able to pass on certain information to their children.
Mhm.
The bigger question would be, what would happen if I were to teach a 30-foot alligator how to move with the stealth and security of one of my kind, typically one of our sneakers, who then pass it on to a child that had no such loyalties.
Right.
So alligators out there sneaking around, hopping up behind people while they're in the bathroom, that sort of thing.
But what would you do to put others at ease without it turning into for lack of a better word, a political shit show?
Well, I'm quite good at training animals. As long as I have them under my control, they should be okay.
All right. Would this be more of a personal endeavor, or would this be more of a clan-wide effort?
It's a personal endeavor for now. However, I am planning on creating. Let's just say that I want to make sure the sewers are safe wherever my clan is and wherever the Camry is, which could evolve to monkey butlers patrolling the sewers underneath the Elysium to make sure nobody got in. Monkey butlers with assault rifles.
I see. I'm very interested in the development of such things. I just want to make sure that the plans that you're advocating are
They are extremely long term. I will understand that. I'm still working on the conditioning of primate behaviors and primate intelligence.
okay.
But we're talking long terms, and that's a few of my long term goals.
All right. David?
Main long term, so I'm sure it'll be long term. As most of our group kind of agree with me on this, I do not like this about. I don't much want them in this city. I think they should be gone. I don't like. I think that's fair to say.
Fair.
So that's kind of my main focus. Get them out. I've already kind of been pushed along that path, by the prince. So might as well just continue on with it.
Do you plan on securing yourself, I would say, as either replacing the Scourge or becoming something indispensable to the sheriff?
If my path goes down that way, I think it definitely makes that a bit easier.
Okay. Would you be opposed to it?
Not at all.
I know that some people with certain amounts of talent sometimes shy away from the limelight, but it seems that you don't suffer from, I suppose, attention, that type of attention.
I don't see why I would.
Okay. I don't know. Some people still hold true to a lot of the prejudices, as you saw before, when the Seneschal tried to yank my chain, as it were.
Oh, that wasn't the Seneschal.
That wasn't the Seneschal. Who was that then?
The Admiral, right?
Yeah.
He's just
Oh.
true.
Uh,
Just a dick. No, I know he has to say that, but no, the Seneschal is Hennessy. Hennessy's the elder of my clan in the city.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's just a very uptight Ventrue who
Just sits there and just takes snipes at people like a Toreador. Like,
basically
uh,
he didn't really talk to any of us until you showed up. So
I got the feeling his sire's somebody important. Maybe Prince Thrain himself.
I mean, that's cool and all, but what's he done?
Exactly. I don't remember him during the retaking.
You two would be my seniors in this case. I have dealt with Sapat in the past, but a certain amount of prestige wherever that lays, but amongst my kind. But as far as the retaking of this city, I would like to prove my worth, as it were, not rest on my laurels.
Understood. I mean, all I really did in the city during the retaking was I sent out my spies. My spies got information and brought it back to me, and then I gave it to the people in charge. Though I did have to go on a couple of covert missions, but fortunately my powers of invisibility are high enough that I wasn't seen.
Interesting.
I just showed up like last week, so I kind of missed the whole thing myself.
That's fair.
Well, if you were a frontline person, you would have had plenty of action.
Hmm.
You have seen what Dimitri was doing. He definitely typifies the strong silent type.
I believe that in a like mind, me and David have a strong interest in seeing that the Sapat see themselves out.
Oh, most definitely.
And
I've heard stories from Hennessy about what it was like when they were here, and they should never be allowed to have a foothold in the city.
that we're of one mindset, and well, I do believe that yourself and I have a common interest in working towards the general safety of our kind and making sure that not only that we maintain a foothold, but we maintain a very close handle on what's happening. So this way past mistakes aren't repeated. But this is what I propose, gentlemen. I propose a coterie. There seems to be a lot of individuals out here who want nothing more than a reason to ascend and step on others to make it so. what leads me to this development is the showing of said venture in the court.
You mean the showing of his ass in the court?
I would never say such a thing. If he were to ask me in public, I would say he was an upstanding citizen. But yes.
I really need to stop saying that sort of thing. He has more status than I do. But one thing I will always warn people of is that wherever you step, the Nosferatu more than likely stepped there first.
Which is why I came to you first.
I try not to piss him off.
Seems like he was really willing to piss everyone off.
You would think he would be more... Word I'm looking for.
Discreet.
No, something else. He would be more apt to treat another member of his clan with respect so that he doesn't end up alone, surrounded by vipers.
Well, it seems that he's at home with vipers then. And I'll just leave that where it is, and hopefully our next meeting won't be... Who am I kidding? He just kind of lets it sit, like... So that is my deal, but I think we could accomplish a great deal, the three of us together, and we could be a flagship or the expectation of what others should aspire to be.
I agree on one condition. I think it's a condition we can all agree to.
What's that?
Anything having to deal with our own clans that should not ever come to light, such as secret information, positions, that sort of thing. I mean by positions, I mean positions within the actual city, not like in the hierarchy or anything.
Gotcha.
As much as I like you two guys, there are certain things that I know you're not supposed to know, and I'm sure that there are things that the Gangrel don't want David's talking about, and things that Venture don't want you talking about, Bruce.
Of course.
However, if you ever need to learn how to hide, I'm more than happy to teach you, for consideration, of course.
Always. I believe in a fair trade and a fair deal. And I know that certain information is information that shouldn't be shared.
Oh, one last thing. Don't go into the second level of the sewers. I don't think you would, but I have to say it anyway. Hennessy will get mad.
Keep that in mind. David, do you have any stipulations?
Can't think of any off the top of my head, but if I do think of any, I'll let y'all know.
Alright, as far as your child is concerned, if she needs anything in the way of food or just something more social or something influence-wise or just a hand, send her my way. I'll be happy to share what I know.
Likewise, and if y'all need a bodyguard or some extra muscle or something, I'm more than halfway decent in a scrap. Just let me know.
Well, with that case, has anyone any idea for a name?
I'm bad at names. Just ask all my animals.
David?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tiger. I think you got cut off. What'd you say?
Oh, he just said, yeah, same. I'm not terribly great with names either.
The Venture puts his hand on his face. I do enjoy comedies and puns and innuendos. I saw something really interesting on I believe the children's these days call it the YouTube. The machine made me laugh. Also, I believe I've gotten rather attached to the fascination with bears, and how everyone seems to have like this fascination with fighting and a fight with a bear, and what would happen if they would lose that fight. I also find those quite entertaining. But if I was a betting man, I would say, hmm, I think the machine is apt. I think we're different cogs in a very larger design.
That does sound accurate.
It's fair to me.
All right then. Does anyone object or have another different suggestion or name they would like to put forward?
I think Game Grumps is taken.
I believe that's also copyright.
More than likely, yes.
Seems pretty good to me.
All right then. On the grounds that we don't want copyright infringement, Mr. Nas, we have to say no to Game Grumps.
Okay, we're the machine.
The machine it is then.
Yeah,
David, do we have a second for the machine?
I will second the machine.
Machine passes forward. Well then, gentlemen, the machine in its first order of business. What are we going to set our sights on?
I think we need to work on the thing with the Sabbat. What David said about how he was supposed to roust the Sabbat in the city.
All right.
Yeah, there's a camp or something of them apparently up in the mountains somewhere. So that's my first assignment.
All right. I'll try to tap some of my media connections to see if there's any stories or sightings of things that were not exactly newsworthy, but definitely came up, and maybe we can get something of a trail.
I'll see if I can get something close enough. If you can give me the location, I can try to send a couple of ferrets or a mouse up there or something.
Indeed.
Some law mountains that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll ask Evan and get it to you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, does anybody else have anything they want to bring up? If not, Bruce is just going to talk shit and make fun of elders.
Yeah, David will join in the talking shit and for quite a while.
Michael will just sit back and listen because he's technically one of the elders in the city.
So is fucking Bruce, but Bruce likes talking shit. So, well then, Tiger, you got an outro for us.
Alright, this has been another episode of Darkness in Dublin. Remember not to infringe upon any copyrights while making fictional groups of fictional characters. And everybody have a good night.